Mr Corbyn, Tom Watson says you urgently need to rethink your Brexit policy and back a second referendum.
We're consulting all our members and all our affiliates and listening to the views of MPs and members of the Shadow Cabinet after last night's election result. The country is very divided and the country has to come together. Nigel Farage and the Brexit Party are only offering a no-deal exit from the European Union with all the problems and chaos that will cause for jobs. There has to be an agreement with the European Union and there then has to be a public vote.
Will you have a clear policy to back a second referendum?
We had a very clear policy all along.
Would you support an internal party ballot on the direction of Brexit?
What we'll do is consult members and through the constituency parties and affiliated trade unions and bring the issue back to conference in September.
Don't you have an obligation now to listen to this result and listen to the impact in your heartlands and actually have a second referendum and a clear position to back Remain?
We're listening very carefully to what everyone has to say on this subject. The country is clearly very divided. Farage and the Brexit Party don't offer any agreement with the EU, merely a crashing out, which will cause chaos for jobs and services across this country. I think we do have a responsibility to listen to what everyone has to say and ensure that there is an agreement made and that is then put to a public vote.
Would you concede that your slightly ambiguous position over Brexit has meant, as some have said, that you're essentially riding two horses and you've fallen flat on your face? Just finally, John McDonnell this morning has talked about the fact there needs to be a public vote. Can you clarify what he means by that? Is that a general election or is that actually a referendum?
The priority at the moment, I think, is for this government to call for a general election and actually have a general election so we can decide the future. It has no majority in Parliament, it has no legislative programme, and Parliament has basically been given nothing to do by the government. I think that is a demand that should be made and made as strongly as possible. John has also pointed out, and I support this, that any final deal has to be put to a public vote, and that we're prepared to do, and indeed support it.
But from here on in, the dividing line's quite clear. If people want to know what you stand for, can I get from you today that you would stand to be a party that support Remain and support a second referendum?
What this party does is supports an agreement with the European Union to prevent crashing out, supports putting that proposal, when agreed, to a public vote. Thank you.